Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Alexis Bellino reacts to RHOC backlash. I understand why so many people dislike me. Alexis Bellino knows all too well that the Real Housewives of Orange County viewers are angry and frustrated at her behavior on the show as she continues to spew venom at Shannon Beater. The returning Bravo star recently reacted to the backlash and admitted that she totally understands it. Alexis is not too happy with how she's been portrayed, reasoning that a lot of her storyline was cut from the show, leaving viewers with no choice but to dislike. For the past 10 episodes, we've seen her gunning for Shannon and accusing her of lying about John Jansen. People were already spewing vitriol at the couple, but they turned up the heat after John and Alexis took things too far, threatening to release videos of the 60-year-old that they claim could ruin her life. Viewers were so outraged they called on Bravo to intervene, accusing the pair of extortion and blackmail. Alexis Bellino reacted to the viewer backlash during a chat on Virtual Reality, where she expressed disappointment about her Season 18 storyline. "It's really sad because there's a lot of things not shown on the show," said Alexis. "I mean, I understand why so many people dislike me right now, because I would too if I'm watching myself," she continued, "but it's not the truth." Meanwhile, the 47-year-old reasoned that much of what was filmed didn't make the cut because she's not a full-time cast member. Alexis said she was dealing with the death of her mom and was very broken when filming started and cried many times to different cast members. But those scenes were never shown. During her chat, Alexis revealed that a lot was left out that would be crucial for the audience to actually like me. They would critically change the audience's viewpoint of me. Alexis had much more to say, noting that her return to the franchise was difficult. She reasoned that despite grieving her mom, the other cast members were focused on feeling sorry for Shannon without much sympathy for her. "I feel like everything's poor Shannon, and no one is even considering my loss of my mom, the difficulty I'm having filming with the ex, the difficulty of the media, and all of that," Alexis reasoned. "It was a really difficult season to film." Alexis Bellino has never been one to shy away from the spotlight, but when the cameras stop rolling, there's a different kind of pressure that comes from public opinion. A pressure that the former Real Housewives of Orange County star knows all too well. After years of being a lightning rod for criticism on the show, Alexis has taken the backlash in stride. But recently, she's opened up in a way that shows her vulnerability, acknowledging the deep impact that the hate and negativity have had on her life. "It's not easy being the villain," Alexis said in a candid Instagram video, her expression somber but resolute. "For years, I've been portrayed as this superficial, materialistic, and judgmental person, and honestly, I get it. I understand why so many people dislike me." This statement, though raw, comes with a certain grace. Alexis, often criticized for her lavish lifestyle, her devotion to traditional family roles, and her unapologetic personality, is showing a side of herself that's far removed from the glittering world of RHOC. Her humility, however, does not mean she's agreeing with all the criticism. It's simply her way of acknowledging the persona that the show and the audience have latched onto. The rise and fall of Alexis Bellino's RHOC image. When Alexis joined the Real Housewives of Orange County in Season 5, she was quickly branded as the show's quintessential Bible Barbie. With her statuesque beauty, faith-driven ideals, and penchant for luxury, she both attracted admiration and sparked disdain. Viewers were drawn to her glamorous lifestyle, but were equally repelled by her perceived preachiness and superiority. "I think people saw me as a caricature," Alexis explained. "They saw the big houses, the cars, the designer clothes, and they made assumptions about who I was. and that's fine. Reality TV is about entertainment, and I played a role in that. Indeed, Alexis often leaned into her wealthy, conservative housewife image, but she now admits that this was partly her coping mechanism for dealing with a harsh, competitive world of Orange County's elite. In her more recent reflection, Alexis reveals that her time on RHOC was not always what it appeared to be on the surface. Behind the scenes, she was grappling with personal struggles, from her rocky marriage with Jim Bellino to her inner battle with self-worth. Back then, I thought that as long as I looked perfect and had the perfect life, I was enough. But that's not how life works, and the more I tried to project perfection, the more people hated me for it. Handling the hate and backlash. Being a part of a reality show franchise like The Real Housewives brings fame, but it also opens the door to a deluge of online trolling and criticism. Alexis, often seen as one of the more polarizing housewives, faced a particularly tough road with the public. From being called shallow to being labeled as out of touch, she became a target for hate both on and off the screen. When I would read comments or hear things people were saying about me, it was crushing, she shared. People assumed I was just this rich, entitled woman who had no understanding of real struggles. But I have struggled deeply. I've been through divorce, financial difficulties, and heartbreak, just like anyone else. One of the most damaging criticisms that haunted Alexis was about her marriage. On the show, her then-husband Jim was often depicted as controlling, with Alexis coming across as submissive and at times oblivious. It led to a lot of viewers commenting on her personal choices and offering unsolicited advice about her marriage, a sensitive topic for Alexis. I was judged so harshly for the dynamics in my marriage, but what people didn't understand is that there's so much more to a relationship than what you see on TV, Alexis said. I don't blame the viewers, though. I understand why they felt the way they did, because all they had was this edited version of me in my life. But it hurt because I was still figuring things out for myself. The power of growth and self-reflection. In the years since leaving RHOC, Alexis has experienced significant growth, both personally and professionally. Her divorce from Jim Bellino in 2018 marked a major turning point in her life. No longer in the public eye as much, Alexis focused on healing and finding her identity outside of the housewife persona. Today, she is in a happy relationship with her fiancé, Andy Bone, and is learning how to embrace a more authentic version of herself. Leaving the show was the best thing that ever happened to me, she admits. It gave me space to figure out who I really am, away from all the cameras and drama. I've learned to be more vulnerable and open, and I'm proud of the woman I've become. Alexis also recognizes that her time on RHOC wasn't all negative. In fact, she credits the experience with teaching her valuable lessons about resilience and self-awareness. I'm not perfect, and I never will be. But the show forced me to take a hard look at myself, and that's something I'm grateful for. I had to confront the parts of me that I didn't like, and I had to make peace with the fact that not everyone is going to love me. And that's okay. The road ahead. Alexis' new chapter. As Alexis looks toward the future, she's focused on living a life that feels more genuine and balanced. She's become a vocal advocate for mental health and self-care, often sharing her journey of growth with her followers on social media. Despite the backlash, Alexis has learned to find peace in knowing that she's no longer trying to fit into a mold created by reality TV. I know people will always have their opinions about me, but I'm not here to please everyone anymore, she said with a confident smile. If people dislike me because of what they saw on a TV show, that's their choice. But if they get to know the real me, they might be surprised. For Alexis Bellino, The chapter of RHOC may be closed, but the lessons from it remain. Through it all, she's come to understand the power of self-acceptance and the importance of not letting other people's opinions define her. As she continues to grow and evolve, one thing is clear. Alexis Bellino is no longer living for the camera. She's living for herself.